Hey everybody, and welcome to Dpad Experience presents Marvel Champions. Dpad Experience is a weekly video game podcast published on all podcast platforms. Welcome to our 5-minute review on Scott Lang, aka the Ant-Man. In this 5 minutes, I will give you a look at his hero kit. We'll go through each one of these cards. I'm not going to go through aspects or anything like that or his obligations, right? But since he can be played in any aspect, he's very flexible and you can see if his hero cards align with your play style, right? I'll give my personal opinion on him at the end, and you can make the decision if you want to pick him up or not. So, all right, we got 5 minutes, Rick, and you're on the clock. All right, so Scott Lang. 3 recovery. After you change this form, heal 1 damage. That's awesome, right? He'll turn to this form, heal damage, got 3 recovery also. Then we have part 1 of our hero form, Ant-Man. Tiny form. 2 thwart, 1 attack, 2 defense. Decent, skills right here. After you change to this form, remove a threat from a scheme. Nice, just some free threat removal. Then we have Ant-Man giant form. 1 thwart, 3 attack, 3 defense. After you change to this form, deal 1 damage to the enemy. So, I'm not going to go into the rules, it'll take forever, but each turn he can flip into a different form. So, he's very versatile depending on what you need to do. He can flip into whatever form he needs to, all right? So we'll just keep him in Ant-Man form for now. All right. Oh, shoot. I was supposed to, oh, man. I usually have these organized for everybody, but I don't have them organized right now. That's all right. All right, so we have Pin Particles, 2 copies of it. After you spend this card, heal 2 damage for your hero if you're in giant form, or draw a card if you are in tiny form. And it's a wild resource. So you can pay for this and you get bonuses based on the form that you're in. All right. Then I know we have multiple copies of Resize, so let's grab that. So I'm adding a couple of seconds onto my 5 minutes because I'm the worst. All right, so let's see. Resize is 0 cost event. Change to your other hero form. Now here's a special thing about this card, right? And draw a card, and draw a card. It just says change to your hero form. So if I am in Ant-Man form, I can play Resize, change to this Ant-Man, but that doesn't count as a flip change. Then I can use his regular flip change to change back into Ant-Man or Scott Lang. So that card basically allows you to change twice. We have 1 copy of Giant Strength, 2 copies of Giant Strength. We have 2 copies of Giant Strength as a 1 cost upgrade, hero response. After you change to giant form, you get +1 attack until the end of this turn. And you got 2 of these. So if you get 2 of these down, you flip into giant form, that's a 5 attack. Crazy. Since we're talking about his giant form cards, we might as well talk about his big one, right, which is Giant Stomp. 3 cost event, but you can only play it if you're in giant form, and you deal 1 damage to each minion and 8 damage to an enemy. Crazy powerful. Crazy powerful. Then we have, let's go for, does he really only have 1? All right, I personally think this is the worst card. Hive Mind. Play only if you're in tiny hero form. Remove 2 threat from a scheme. 1 additional threat from a scheme for each army of ant support you control. So it is really good. It's just based on how many armies of ants that you have. So if you don't have, if you only have this and you haven't got an army of ants card, it's kind of a waste. So that's probably his worst card. But let's talk about army of ants. Similar to giant form, you can only play this if you're in tiny form. Exhaust army of ants, deal 1 damage to an enemy. And we have 3 copies of these. You can get 3 of these out and just deal 3 damage to an enemy. This gets around things like Retaliate. It's not an attack, it's just a hero action. This is a phenomenal card. Phenomenal card. And we have 3 of them. Then we have probably his 2 best cards. We'll go with Ant-Man's helmet first. After you change to giant form, heal 2 damage from your hero. After you change to tiny form, draw 1 card. So if you have this out and you can play it with Resize, you can do 2 of these in 1 turn, right? You can heal when you turn to giant form. If you play your hands right, you never have to turn to Scott Lang. This card makes him awesome. And my personal favorite card, if you do want to change to Scott Lang, we have his Risk Gauntlets, which is only a 1 cost upgrade. If you're in giant form and spend 2 physical resources, you stun the enemy. If you're in tiny form, spend 2 energy resources, confuse the enemy. You have stun and confuse whenever you want with Ant-Man with these wrist gauntlets. And it's only a 1-cost upgrade. Stays in the game forever. Shut up. Then we have Wasp, his signature ally, 3-cost card, 2 thwart, 2 attack. After she enters play, deal 2 damage to an enemy if you're in giant form, or remove 2 threat from the scheme if you're in tiny form. So, depending on how the game is, you can control what you want to do a lot in the game. All right? Yeah, I'm just going to cut to the chase. Ant-Man is freaking awesome. Ant-Man is one of my favorite heroes to play in this game. He can be played with just about any kit and be fantastic. His aspect and be awesome because his kit just is all around the board, does everything. It heals him, it confuses, it removes threat. He's just insane. He's an easily recommended pickup for me. He's very unique in that he has this triple-sided card. I highly recommend him. Really fun character pickup.